contain your passion, but it's better to have passion that needs to be contained than to be dull and boring and insipid. It really is. And if you're not familiar with your passion yet, keep looking. Just keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. And you will know when you find it. You will know when you find it. No one will have to inform you of that. Nobody, nobody, nobody. E.M. Forster said one person with passion is better than 40 people merely interested. You ever have people that just sort of interested? And it's amazing that the people who are chasing you, you're not half interested in them, you're chasing somebody else. How many of y'all have ever been the person saying that I wish so-and-so felt about me, would chase me the way that... I tell you to go for passion over money because you can monetize your passion, but you cannot passionize your money. You can monetize your passion, but you cannot passionize your money. In other words, your passion can earn you money, but your money will never earn you passion. Never earn your passion. Dennis Waitley put it this way. He said, chase your passion, not your pension. Learn to chase your passion, not your pension. Listen, do you understand what the word of the Lord is saying? He says that whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. Give it everything you've got. Do it with gusto, with enthusiasm, with passion. What is passion? What is passion? What is passion? Passion is the love of life. Passion is the love of self. Passion is the love of others. Passion is the discovery of God-given destiny and purpose in one's life. So when you really catch a hold of it, you'll understand that real passion comes from a person who's learned how to love life. They've learned how to love themselves. They've learned how to love others. And it is the result of the discovery of the purpose, the God-given purpose, your God-given purpose in life. It really is. It is the excitement and the wonder of being a human being. Passion is what gives us our fire. Passion is what makes your life worth living. It makes you come alive. And some people look around at particular things and they're just saying, wonder what I can do to make money. And they start asking, what can I do? What does the world need? No. Ask yourself the question, what is it that makes me come alive? Because what the world needs are people who have come alive. People that are passionate, people who are enthusiastic, people that have gusto in them. When you call Word of Faith, we don't just answer the phone like, hello. No. Our folks have been instructed. They've been trained here. You answer the phone. It's a great day at Word of Faith. Because if you don't want to be here, go home. Don't be on my payroll if you don't want to be here. Just go home. Play hard or go home. And if you're going to be here enthusiastically because you want to be here. Do you want anybody to be with you who doesn't want to be with you? Can you imagine paying somebody to be with you and they don't want to be with you? Can you imagine that? You know what? Could you imagine what that feels like? To have somebody to be with you? I love it when I find people in whatever area of life, I don't care where they are, I want them to serve with passion. To have passion in what they do. Because passion cannot really be adequately defined. Instead, passion defines. Passion defines us. It helps us to come into an understanding of who we are. It really defines. Christian Frederick Hebel says that nothing great in the world has ever been accomplished without passion. Nothing great has really ever been accomplished without passion. So you have to ask yourself some questions. What is at the core of your life? What's at the core of your life? What's the real central thing? What is it that you cannot do without? What is it that you cannot do without? That you would say that if this particular element here were taken out of my life, I really wouldn't want to live. What is it that you cannot do without? What is it that you honestly feel passionate about? Ask yourself the question, what is it that drives you? What drives you? But do you know that passion comes out of pain? It really means pain, passion, pain. Whatever has hurt you, you become passionate about. If you've had an alcoholic daddy, you become passionate against alcohol. If you've had somebody to kill a child as a drunk driver, you become passionate in supporting that. Real passion comes out of a pain that has happened. If you've been in a person and you've seen a disease take a person, and then a young person seeing that and feeling helpless then goes into the field of medicine. And that becomes their passion because they were hurt by somebody who was close to them who died. Are you understanding that your passion oftentimes comes out of your pain? Your passion, look and see what hurts you. And when you're passionate about something, it just hurts you when other people don't do it right. I mean, if you have a gift with fashion, it just hurts your feeling when people put on stuff that doesn't match. I mean, you start looking, you can say, how can she wear those shoes with that pocketbook? I mean, it just does something to you. And you know, when you're a well-organized person, a neat freak, and then you go and stuff is strewn all over somebody's house, and it just pains you. It's like, oh my God, how can this woman live this way? Didn't she know I was coming? And then what it tells yourself in your mind is that, my God, she thinks she has cleaned up for me. But whatever it is that you're gifted to do, that you really enjoy doing, you hate it if you see somebody half doing it. You find somebody who's passionate about music, and you get somebody up who sings off key. Oh God, when you know how to do something and somebody's doing it half-heartedly, it becomes an aggravation to you. It vexes you. Now here's some simple questions that can help to guide you into finding your ultimate passion. Number one, what puts a smile on your face? Just think about that. What puts a smile on your face? I didn't say who. I said, what puts a smile on your face? Is there a particular event, a particular topic that makes your whole face just light up? Whatever it is that makes you smile, and whatever it is that makes you happy about whatever you encounter, that's a sign of something that you're actually passionate about. You may not have ever noticed it. But I truly believe that happiness and passion walk hand in hand. There's something about the thing that you do, or perhaps that you used to do, that brings total peace into you when you do it. It's interesting. Peace is happiness, and happiness is passion. Peace is happiness, and happiness is passion. Here's number two. Here's the second question you ought to ask yourself. What do you find easy? What do you find easy? Because usually what you find easy to do will be related to what you're passionate about. If you're passionate about basketball, you find it easy to go play basketball. You know, whatever it is that you find easy in your life, you know, it's something that generally can identify a passion in you. It's very hard for us to hate doing something that's very easy for us. Fun leads to happiness, and happiness is synonymous with passion. So assess everything that you do, and whatever it is that you find that you do that's really easy and fun to you, that may very well be your passion. And some people have taken their passion for skateboarding, or for drawing, or for video gaming, or for basketball, or for collecting. They've taken it and made it a full-fledged career. There are people who have taken their passion and made it a full-fledged career. You'd be surprised. Remember this, you can make a career out of anything that you're passionate about. You can make a career out of anything that you're passionate about. Now listen, you can do that a little easier now if you're single. Because if you are married and you're talking about doing some passion and you're not bringing a paycheck home, and rent is due and gas bill is due. See, if you want to be daring, you can do it pretty well if you're by yourself. You know, you can live out of the back of your car, but homegirl ain't gonna be in the back of that car, but by that second day, she's looking at you crossways, you know, like, excuse me. And if you got a crumb snatcher that's dependent on you, and the baby needs milk and diapers, and you up there talking about doing, writing some lyrics, like, excuse me. See, I feel an obligation to teach this with balance, because I don't want somebody to just, walk off their day job. Touch your neighbor and say, keep your day job. You work on your passion at nighttime until you done built it up sufficiently. Don't just be leaping off. There are a few exceptions to that. A few exceptions. Please don't make the exception the rule. So I'm just telling you the general rule here. Keep your day job until this thing has evened up, you know, because when you got other folks depending on you, they are not going to support your craziness. At some whim, it's too much risk, you know, and that makes your partner feel very insecure. And so you can do that better if you by yourself. When you out homeless, you know, but when you got somebody who's with you, they really don't want to be homeless with you. Not for long. I'm just telling you, you are on a clock. They are counting down like I'm going to give him 2 more weeks. You know, there are some things. So if you're going to do certain things, you better be by yourself. But when you are getting ready to really live your passion, you got to have some stability in your life. You really do. So you have to gradually do certain things. You know, don't hop off of one boat until the other boat has developed sufficiently and comes close enough that you can do the step. You see? I mean, I didn't just leap into full-time ministry. I don't know whether you realize it, but in my first 5 years of pastoring, the bishop worked full-time, 8 hours a day. Are you listening? I didn't just say, you know what, God, the Holy Ghost has called me to the ministry. Now, you know why I didn't do that? Because I had a wife and children. Are you listening? So I had better sense than to just walk off of my job and say, you know where God has called me into the ministry. No. I was called, but I wasn't stupid. Now, was I passionate about ministry? Absolutely. I was passionate about it. But I worked full time for the first 5 years of my pastorate. We had 3,000 members before I quit my job. I don't know whether you knew that or not, but it is so anyhow. I'm just trying to, you know, I want passionate folks to be responsible in their Christianity, particularly when you see, had I been by myself, maybe I could have, you know, launched out there, just going, you know, just go for broke. But when you got a wife and 2 babies, you know, you go for broke, you may not come back. Here's number 3. Ask yourself this question: what sparks your creativity? What sparks your creativity? Just think about something in life where you always seem to be able to expand its horizon. You're always coming up with something new and exciting ideas related to that subject. Your creative juices are stirred in that area. That's a great indication of your passion, of whatever it is that sparks your creativity. Whatever makes you creative is probably something that you're passionate about. Here's number 4. Ask yourself this question: what would you do for free? What would you do for free? You can't ever satisfy greed. You never can. But doing what you have a passion for brings out the best in you, and then that leads you to greatness because you bring out the best. The man after whom I'm named after Dale Carnegie. He said that you never achieve success unless you like what you're doing. You're not going to really become excellent in something that you actually hate. You'll only achieve success when you like what you're doing. Do you think that most successful folks in the world get to where they are just because, you know, they were just talented? Just because they just wanted to get rich? No. They did what they were passionate about. And their immense success was just a byproduct of their dedication. Steve Jobs didn't have to work. I mean, had most of us been Steve Jobs and we were sick, we would have taken off and traveled the world. But you know what he was doing? Still there developing products. Still there laying the plan, the vision for this thing after he was gone. He wasn't working for the money. He had a passion in him. He was driven by passion. He had a passion for what he did. And it caused some superior technology to come out. And so just think about something that you would just love to do, even if you were not getting paid for it. Think about that. Something that you would really look forward to do, something that you wish that you could do all the time. It'll point you to your passion. Here's number 5. What do you like to talk about? What do you like to talk about? Do you find a passionate person? You can find what people are passionate about because they've got more conversation. You know, you can bring up certain things and they don't have a whole lot to talk about. But you touch on certain things that they're passionate about, you've just opened up something. They just opened up something. The topics of conversation that we have can definitely tell us what we're interested in. And this is a very, very good way to find out what you really enjoy doing in life. And most of the time we are totally unaware of this. We're oblivious to it. But you know who knows it? Your friends. Ask your friends, what is it that you're talking about when your face lights up and then you start really coming alive, you start really engaging in the conversation. Ask them what's about at that point. You know, most of the time I talk to men about different things, and men are always talking about what they do. But when I talk with women, women talk about who they are. And they talk about their families. I mean, man, said, well, I'm a district manager for IBM, and I'm such and such, and this, I'm over this particular southeastern territory, and I've been bought this out there. I have so many people in my department. And then I'm talking to a woman that I don't know. She's in her wallet pulling out, you know, pictures and stuff and showing me on it. This is my grandbaby here, and this is my son here when he was at his first birthday party, and then I was to school. And very, very, I know immediately where their passions lie. That this is somebody who values relationship over stuff. This is the type of person who will never be on their deathbed saying, I wish I had spent more time at the office. But this is somebody who cherishes relationships. Just talk to your friends and see what is it that you're talking about when your face lights up. And when you can talk at length about this particular thing because you're locating an area of your passion. We had a guest in one time, we were sitting in the back talking about some things, and I don't know, we had talked about politics and athletics and stuff, and they just saw, you know, of just mediocre, mundane kind of conversation. But then they asked me about something that I am passionate about. They could tell, I had never paid attention until that time. They saw my face light up. They saw my eyes brighten. Because what makes you come alive, when there is an excitement that comes into your eyes, that's a location of your passion. Here's number 6. What makes you unafraid of failure? What is it that makes you unafraid of failure? That you wouldn't mind trying to do. Even if you don't do it, you wouldn't mind dying trying to do it. I'd rather die trying to do something than never to attempt anything and succeed. I mean, what do you do when you're passionate about something and you have then total confidence in your abilities? And this makes us not worry about failing, because in our minds, how can we fail when we do what we love? If you do what you love, not what your mama loved for you, not what your daddy loved for you, when you do what you love, what's in you, what's your passion, you can't try to make somebody else's passion your passion. It might not light your fuse to cause something to explode in you, and just because your daddy did it or your mama did it doesn't mean that you are called to do it. You got to locate your own passion. Think of something that you just do or want to do no matter what, that you don't mind risking everything that you've got to go after what you really want. Just remember that regret is temporary. Fear is temporary, regret is permanent. Fear is temporary, regret is permanent. Here's number 7. What would you regret not having tried? What is it that you would regret not having tried? If you got on your deathbed and you're sitting there saying, you know, I hate that I didn't do such and such. Because most of the people who get old and who are on their deathbed, they have little regrets over the stuff that they did. Their greatest regrets are over the stuff that they didn't have the guts to do. They regret that they didn't try to live their dream. They would say things like, if I had it to do over again, I would risk more. I would take more chances at doing what I really felt in my heart that I wanted to do. But they were afraid of the fear of failure, that somebody was going to laugh at them. They risked losing everything. What is it that you would regret not having tried? What is it? Bill Cosby said that anyone can dabble, but once you've made that commitment, your blood has that particular thing in it, and it is very hard for people to stop you. There's absolutely nothing worse than arriving at the end of your journey and having regret. What would it do? What would you do if you spent your whole life climbing the ladder of success only to discover that it was leaning against the wrong building. Do you know that our God is a passionate God? He loves passionately. He listens passionately. He gives passionately. He saves passionately. He redeems passionately. He heals passionately. I want to encourage you to just let your own life become an extension of God's passion in the earth. Well, you're saying, God, I want you to love through me. Just love through me. Be passionate through me, Jesus. Whatever you find your hand to do, do it with your might. It didn't say that if you like it right now, but it's saying on the job where you are, if you're faithful over that which is least, God will make you ruler over much. It may not be ideal, it may not be what you're called to do, it may not be what you're really passionate about right now, but bring the passion that is in your heart into your current assignment. And ask God, Lord, empower me. Empower me, God, to put in somebody else's business, on somebody else's job, the passion that I would have if I owned the business. Lord, help me to work with the same diligence and dedication for somebody else that I would work if I were working in my own business. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. That's why he says, whatever you find your hand to do it with your might. Don't half step. Do it with your might. Give it your best shot. When people do things poorly, sometimes it is a reflection of their attitude. An attitude is an external sign of an internal feeling. So when people have a bad attitude, it always reflects in their work. It always. You don't have to wonder whether this person feels good about their job when their results are sloppy. An attitude is an external expression of an internal feeling. You are showing how you really feel on the inside when you deal with a slack hand. And I'm grateful when I'm ever able to go to a place and I'm able to find a passionate worker. You don't know what a blessing it is to deal with passionate people until you've been sick and you've had a nurse who's not just somebody operating by protocol, but they have human compassion. And they know how to talk to you even when a doctor has been insensitive to you and spoken to you harsh, reality-shaking news to you. There are some nurses, thank God for nurses. I feel the way about them that I'd feel about teachers. Because sometimes they have to serve such nasty, ungrateful people. You ever been in a position where you got to serve and folks don't appreciate what you do? They're kind, they're condemnatory, they are critical, they are fault-finding when you are doing the best oftentimes that you can do with based on what you have and the authority that is given to you. But let your passions rise up. Ask God, Lord, fill me with passion. Sing with passion, dance with passion, write with passion, speak with passion, walk with passion, live with passion, touch with passion, serve with passion. Whatever you find your hand doing, do it with passion, with passion. Do it with passion. Make sure that you would do it with passion. I wish that we could find people in the building industry that would have enough integrity in their heart to build with passion, so they wouldn't cut corners and cause a homeowner later to deal with a nightmare because somebody came in and did a shoddy job just to get paid. God, give us men of integrity. Give us men and women that have a heart of integrity to do an honest day's work. Somebody who has passion to be able to serve. Now, whatever you find your hand to do, it may not be your ideal job, but somebody gave you a chance. Somebody believed in you. There are a lot of folks that don't have a job at all. And some people with a job, it may not be the best paying job. Some people with that job have the unmitigated gall to take a job and then serve half-heartedly on it. And they are in violation of God's own word that says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. I didn't like cutting the cheese, but I cut it to the best of my ability. I hummed while I cut it. I had visions of other things happening in my head while I was there cutting and wrapping cheese all day. cutting cheese. In a cold refrigerated area on the back side of a health food store, cutting cheese. But I brought as much passion as you could have in cheese cutting.
Thank you for watching Power for Living with Bishop Dale C. Bronner. Join us again next time for Power for Living, where revelation is power. Power for living.